What is going on, my friends, and welcome back to another video here on the channel. Now, I wanted to make a quick video for you guys because some of you have been asking in my comment sections and in my DMs, just like, hey, Tyler, do you think in general it's a good time to buy crypto? Like, are we getting good signs? Are we getting bad signs? And although I can't necessarily answer that specifically, I can at least just give you my opinion, let you know what I've been seeing and why I do personally think that it's a decent time to be dollar cost averaging into some of your favorite cryptos. And so the best thing that we can do here is let me just explain to you why I am thinking that this could be a decent time. And then we'll get into some of the other ones and the other things that I personally am doing. Now, let's start off over on Bitcoin and let me just explain a couple things to you. Okay. So looking at Bitcoin, let me just remove all drawings. Let's just look at this for what it is. The way that I'm determining whether or not I think that this is a good time to buy crypto is whether or not I think that the future is looking decent or green for crypto, right? Obviously, if I thought that the future was looking red, I wouldn't be telling you it's a decent time to buy crypto. So obviously, I think it's a good time and that we do see there is a possible positivity coming forward in the world of crypto. Now, the reason that I believe that is because Bitcoin itself has been in a consolidationary mode. And consolidationary mode just quite simply means that it's been going sideways. Now, most people would say that this isn't a good thing, but I always disagree. And the reason that I disagree is because throughout the history of bull markets, we will always see Bitcoin make one of two decisions. After it goes straight up, it's either going to go sideways or it's going to go down. There are no ifs, ands, or buts. It's going to do one of those. And I personally would rather see Bitcoin do this than I would rather see it do this. And so knowing that, what I've also noticed is that historically, in moments where we see Bitcoin going sideways, we typically are seeing that followed by strong moves to the upside. Now, I will admit, it often does look like this. It goes up, sideways, pull back, up, sideways, pull back, up, sideways, pull back, up. It's just kind of the nature in which Bitcoin moves. And considering the fact that we are in that consolidation area or sideways moment, sure, there may be a little pullback coming. It doesn't matter to me because that is generally a good time to be accumulating, expecting that we would, of course, see some type of growth towards the upside. Now, this isn't only seen in Bitcoin's price itself. This is also being replicated in total market cap. Okay, if we just go look at total market cap, we're in a very similar position. Its price is currently bouncing in between two macro Fibonacci zones and holding up incredibly well. We're seeing the daily RSI almost full to a reset, already creating bullish divergences to the downside after being fully overextended, which is just a sign that this cool down is possibly getting close to an end. And we could see Bitcoin try to make, or not Bitcoin, but the crypto market in general, try to make some type of move to the upside over the next couple months into the end of the year. Now, I'm not saying it's going to be fast. I'm just saying that it's going to be possible. And so knowing that, I genuinely do believe that where we are in crypto is incredibly healthy. And I think that we are seemingly building up to what could be an explosive all-time high for the world of crypto in general. Now, another thing that's being reflected across many of your major altcoins is the fact that they're finding beautiful points of support. They're not necessarily holding them right now, but they're finding them. They're seeing them. I mean, for example, you look at this. Ethereum's price broke above the 1.618 macro Fibonacci zone, goes sideways, pulls back. And as it gets back towards that 786 box, that 786 range, it holds support and is now bouncing here and consolidating here for the last week. Now, no, it may not hold this and it may continue downwards. But what you need to remember is that every single time that we're seeing cryptos find some support and go sideways, that means that the bulls are stepping in and exhausting the bears. And the likelihood of the bears being able to continue that momentum to the downside, being met with resistance at every single major point of liquidity they run into, it will slow that move to the downside down. And then eventually, usually the reversal to the upside would be on the way. And so because of that, that's why I'm seeing so many different cryptos looking more and more positive and bullish over the last few days, especially as they are seeing the bulls starting to step in. We're seeing it with Solana, for example. Solana, boom, comes back to the bottom side here, runs into its own little micro Fibonacci zone and immediately starts finding some support, causing this exhaustion for the bears, which now could easily lead Solana's price to head back up to the $150 range. Things like this, finding these support levels while we're in consolidationary zones and macro ranges are the exact things that we'll need to get these breakouts to the upside. And that's why it's so beautiful, because I do think that we are in what many will consider in the future to be a buying period. This is a period where you can be buying and accumulating over the next couple months, which should relay into some beautiful gains, especially into the end of this year, beginning of next year. Hopefully that's the idea here. Now, personally speaking, I have been doing a good bit of buying. I have been buying some different cryptos, so I will talk to you about some of the different ones I have, but let's jump into today's sponsor quick. Now, before we do continue on with the video, let me tell you a little bit about what Starbot is doing right now. They're a partner of the channel and someone that I think you need to check out, and there is a way that you can get a ton of rewards from them right now, so you're not going to want to miss this. Now, who is Starbot? Let's just kind of start there. Well, Well, Starbot is a company that has plans to make trading easier, more rewarding, and more fun. And the way in which they plan on doing this is by creating a Telegram bot that allows you to have different multiple features and elements that make that system happen. Now, what you can see here from their Telegram bot is they have a way in which you can track your portfolio and see its performance. You can have multiple wallets within that portfolio being tracked. You can trade on here, and there are ways in which you can earn rewards. Now, a really cool aspect about the company is the fact that they offer some of the best MEV protection for a trading bot and a Telegram bot that I personally have ever seen. Most people don't realize just how much money they are losing whenever they're using Telegram bots because they're getting attacked with these MEV attacks, and they have MEV protection, which is what you want to see from a company like this. And so the fact that they're making it not only just easier, rewarding, and more fun, but also safer and will save you more money, it's obviously a clear choice if you are looking for a good Telegram trading bot. Now, on top of that, they are also going to be running a Starbot competition right now, in which they have now partnered up with TTF, Track the Funds, to bring a $20,000 total prize pot to those who are able to make the most gains using the Starbot trading bot. And what you can see here is that there's actually going to be rewards to not only just first place, right? Up to eighth place can get around $100, with first place getting $10,000 spread out across the multiple winners. And so, of course, if this is something that is interesting to you, make sure you do head to the links down in the description below and do go check them out. Start trading with their Telegram bot, of course, completely MEV protected, and you can get access to their competition, which is going to be ending pretty soon here. So make sure you do go check that out and let me know what you think. So moving forward a little bit now, let's talk about some of the different things that I personally have been buying. Well, I actually did a bit of a dollar cost average buying spree on my top 10, top 15, top 20 cryptos recently. So I did dollar cost average in on a little bit more Bitcoin. I haven't been buying a lot, and that's a common occurrence that you'll notice across what I'm about to tell you. I haven't been buying a lot of crypto, but I've been buying a decent amount in a bunch of different cryptos, if that makes sense. So I bought a little bit of Bitcoin. I bought a little bit of Solana here as we reach this bottom side Fibonacci zone. I bought a little bit of Jasmy as it did reach this 1.272 Fibonacci zone around 0.032 cents. I bought a little bit of Render as its price did venture towards the bottom side of the structure and seemingly is going to try to hold some support here, but we'll of course see. I have intentions to buy Render a little bit more, but check out yesterday's video if you want to see that. I did buy a little bit of Ethereum. I actually did go ahead and pick up a little bit of Chainlink as it was retesting and reapproaching this previous point of resistance here. I picked up a little bit of Avalanche as it is now falling below a macro point of support, and it seems as if this is a zone of wicks, right? It seems like we hold this support zone a lot, and so I think there's maybe a chance that it's going to hold there. So I did go ahead and pick that up. I picked up a little bit of DOT as it is also at this macro zone of support. I know this looks like a head and shoulders pattern, and it very well might be, but I'm willing to play the game and to see what happens. And then I also picked up a little bit of Phantom as it's also in this little wick zone, the zone in which it does seemingly find support a ton. Now, that's pretty much all I've done in the top 10, top 15, top 20. I have been adding a little bit to some of my meme coin and micro cap bags as well. Crypto Journey, or the Daddy token, brought to you by our homie Rodney. I actually did a little bit of averaging in here at $3, roughly like $3.06, $3.07, or $3.60 or $3.70. And the reason I did that was because it's now seen a beautiful pullback, but volume is still holding up quite well. And we are seeing it sustainably fall, right? We're not seeing just an absolute just shitter straight to the downside. It is sustainably falling, and it does seem as if we could be possibly rounding out sometime soon here. And so because of that, as it is reapproaching some of these key zones of liquidity that we've seen historically, I think that this could be a decent time to average in on some of this Daddy token. And, you know, if this thing can hit $10 million market cap, that is still a 3x from here. And so because of that, I definitely want to see, what happens. And so I did average in a little bit. But Alex Smart Gas is another one that I did go ahead and add into a little bit more. We did see a beautiful pump. We saw Vitalik Smart Gas get up to 0.002. Let's see, 0.002399. Honestly, doing quite well. Almost got to that 2.5 number. We didn't get quite there, but it has been holding up very, very well, especially since April, especially since March. This little March-April drop that we saw back here. It's recovered it quite well, especially if they have had a lot of developments. I did make a full video about them quite recently, so make sure you do go check that out. But they're holding up quite well, so I did actually add to that bag as well. And then I am going to possibly be getting a little bit more of this Marvin on base crypto, the one that we talked about a couple weeks ago, maybe like a week ago roughly. They actually did just do a complete rebrand, redesign. Everything looks much, much better. And as you can see here, the website is just so much more animated, so much better. The graphics look way better. The smoothness is better. You can tell they spent money to get this thing out there. And so overall, knowing that they are still in their pre-sale phase, I do think that this is still one of my top picks for the upcoming launch. And so I am prepping to possibly get in more on this if I get the opportunity to. And so that's kind of just the coverage, of course, across your top 10, top 15, top 20, and then some of your smaller ones there. And that's what I personally am doing. And so let me know down in the comments below. Do you think it's a good time to be buying? And if so, what are you buying? I can't wait to hear from you down there. And I can't wait to hear from you all next time. Peace out, everybody.